Yamo will be a qua about the Basmat Ghana update, so we a news update for Frokran and the Babesumo. Auzia, Alan Kojo Martin Edra, Nina, Yellow Ghana, Party Pufra, Ababe Canadian home. Nano, and which Timwa, a undercover operation bia, Amanphobia, or Nimsoe, Omo, and Omon Pese, Abatwe, Obewini, and Omashada, Ayas Adeno. That was ya. Where the Cocoboke say, I'm almost say, Omo train, may no December 7th. A ho and Omubehu, is answer, won't would the entire. All of a sudden, since here to Aba, our Ghana, or be any honoma. Waba Ababijina Batwana, with this similar color, any political party be air prehum. What Rema, or Nunqua Alanco Joche Martin, a trinity adie. Obi Ashada Aquaquate, Yellow Ghana, I no see a party or Barber challenging. Abusia, ne bonyo sukra, ne adianso say. Watuja afa President Kufour na ban ene Akufo-Addo na ban wa bra yebusa ne se on compare omumienu ochiremu a on spending executive time enyi saa question na no esan se ni nyina ya nwoma a etwam na yese no we moving on from MPP political party no ni atoso miensa enso so ni a obeye ne running mate abusua odi nchemu kakra atudwa wo ho a mebese ebeko ni akwakoti ni etwato amanfo bi a omubusa ne se Edienti ena ulivu MPP party no ananso say adenti na no ye part of MPP government no wanya nwoma ya opese wo yi abusia eno so watoja wo ho a opese wo chese ebi mu ente politics ase abusia yenti ono ankasa mra
go. There is a political party called Yellow Ghana that has just been making the rounds on traditional and social media. Are they affiliated to you in any way? What's your thoughts on their launch or their presence on the scheme?
They are not affiliated to the movement for change in any way. And because I've been in this game for some time, I know this is an undercover operation to try and destabilize.
An undercover operation by who?
What we are doing. And if you have a situation where for all these years we've not heard about Yellow Ghana. Now Alan comes with a magical brand of the movement for change with a symbol of the butterfly and with this bright yellow invigorating color scheme. And then somebody comes out with Yellow Ghana. Yes, I branded my youth wing. My youth wing is the Yellow Army.
Yep.
That's the Yellow Army. Mm-hmm. And now, and people will be shocked. Let's wait till we get to December and let the people decide. So if somebody comes up, it is his right. We cannot stop him. So you come and choose the same colors, yellow and black, and then you have the right. Nobody will stop you.
Right. When did you realize the NPP did not buy into your vision, and why didn't you leave sooner?
I know this matter comes up all the time. Oh, you are part of the government. Mm-hmm. What I want the people of this country to understand is that collective responsibility is not the same as individual accountability. The fact that you are part of a government, does it mean that you cannot have your own views about what goes on in government? Obviously not. And everybody who knows about my political career would appreciate that I speak my mind. I've done that all my political life. And people in government now have known my position on these matters all the time. Sometimes I take the position that when you are in a family, you don't wash all your dirty linen, at the same time.
But by leaving, it's a big telltale sign.
I know people disagree with that position. Mm-hmm. That yes, you are part of a government. I've helped to bring it to a level where I would have thought that would have moved forward. If I come out and then provide a new sense of direction, people should even applaud me now for being able now to have the courage to come out and say that this is not working.
That's one way. Others may see it as taking credit for the good and then dropping the ball on what may appear to some as not the not so good parts.
No, what is not the good part? I have been the brain behind many of the most important achievements of this government. Many of them. I'm talking because everybody is given a responsibility in government. For example, if there's doomsday, you will not expect the Minister for Trade and Industry to be given an account of why the lights are not
It
on.
affects businesses,
yeah, no, but I'm saying
productions, timelines.
To give an account of why. It affects it, and you are interested in it. You want to get the lights on to support your industry. But are you saying that that the Minister for Industry should be held responsible for national security, for example, or for something that is working in another? It doesn't work like that. Many people do not have any ideas about how governments work. As I said, I've been in government twice. I've helped as much as I can. Now, if things are not going the way that I believe it should, I have every right. And it takes very few people with courage to be able to do that. And that's why I came out. And I'm proud that I came out because people in government understand what I have done in government and what I can do. It's no secret. The things I've been fighting, or I fought for in government, people are aware of the fact that if I become president, this country will change. There's no doubt about that. It is a question of at the right time.
Right. Someone asked
at the right time.
Your plan for addressing the depreciation of the cedi, and there was another question on funding of political parties, and the conversations around should political parties be state funded and whatnot. So depreciation of the cedi, what's the plan?
Yeah, the depreciation of the cedi, as we're talking about
it before.
So depreciation of the cedi, or how you manage your currency, is a question of supply and demand of foreign exchange. And because it's a question of supply and demand, the starting point is you have to do things that will bring you more foreign exchange. That is the starting point. And the only way you can get more foreign exchange is to export. And that is why if you look at my Bible, there's an elaborate program for export development. Within a matter of maximum 3 years, our export revenue will hit not less than $30 billion. Right now, we just depend on cocoa. How much do we get out of it? 2 billion. At best, maybe gold, a very small part of what we earn, But I have been driving this national export strategy. And by 2030, we'll be earning about 25 billion. So the point is that first you need somebody who understands what it will take. And it's a question then of execution once you are in government.
Right. Let's take a couple of more questions from our screen, and then when we return, we'll try and find some answers for those ones. Valerie, what's the screen saying?
The screen is busy going through a couple of them. Togbe Ghana is saying, no for us. Where were you part of all what we're going through? Not again. But he's asking what is he going to do about fuel and doomsday and galamsey. Also, Dela is saying, Honorable Alan, what's your assessment of the current administration, that's Kufuor's government compared to former President Kufuor's government? Would you say ex-President Kufuor's government was better? Dela is asking this. Okay, so
looks like we have got quite a few more. So bottom up assessment of the current administration under His Excellency Nana Addo and the one under His Excellency.
What is the point for us in spending executive time discussing the past? I'm moving forward.
Okay. You'd rather focus on the future.
Let's focus on the future.
So what's the plan to reduce fuel prices, improve the energy situation with regards to Dumso and then Galamsey? Let's start with fuel.
Very much. Fuel prices, again, is very simple. Because we import fuel, it comes back to the exchange rate. If your local currency is depreciating in value, then obviously when you import, the cost of what you import would always be going much higher because it is your city is depreciating. And so for us to reduce the cost of fuel, two things. We have to fix our foreign currency depreciation. And we've talked about that, how to fix that one. And then secondly also, since we are now producing oil and gas in our country, then we must take steps to add value to our oil and gas resources.
I hear a tall conversation coming up in there.
Yes, and then that will reduce the demand for imported fuel products.
Okay.
Because if you're adding value to your oil and gas, then the issue of depreciation of your currency affecting the cost of fuel will not arise.
Galamsey, this is water from one of our rivers, and we are told that its effect on not just the water bodies but on our broad agric sector and the agric space is telling, and it's beginning to come to bite us all in uncomfortable places. What would be your strategy?
First, Galamsey has to be dealt with in a pragmatic way. If you go to communities where the main occupation is farming, you deal differently with such communities than when you go into areas where the main preoccupation is small-scale mining. So in communities where you have small-scale mining, the reason why we have Galamsey is because the young people who are engaged in small-scale mining do not have the permits and the rights or concession from the Minerals Commission to mine. So it's illegal mine. That's what Galamsey is. That is what Galamsey is. Illegal mine because you don't have the permit or the concession to mine. But this is what they do on a daily basis. Like you go to communities where they are also farming on a daily basis. You need to have a progressive way of dealing because the people are already there. It's not just about talking about stopping Galamsey.
So the Minerals Commission, for example, has been talking about community mining schemes, bringing these groups of illegal miners together and offering them, approved concessions and regulating the activities to ensure you agree with.
I agree with that, but you see, the implementation so far is not along the lines that we are discussing now. So they have community mining. Community mining, they provide licenses for communities to be able to undertake small-scale mining. My proposal is that whether you like it or not, these young guys are already on the ground. So my proposal is that bring them together and then create companies, not cooperatives, create companies owned by the same young people. So small-scale mining companies owned by the Galamseyers. And then government now, through a program, buys machinery and equipment for these companies. And on a work and pay basis, once they are able to do work and they are productive, whatever they get from that activity becomes what they will use to pay off the loans or whatever that government is able to arrange for them. But the starting point is for the Minerals Commission to license them. Because if they are licensed, then it's no longer illegal
Right.
mining.
So
but it's not just about licensing them.
Making sure they do things the way they are expected.
Yes, and the only way you can do that is to provide them with the machining equipment and also to provide them with management support.
Right.
So that's what we have proposed. All these Galamsey young people will now become owners, shareholders of small companies that are run on a professional basis.
Right.
That is the key.
We'll be wrapping this up in a few minutes. So, opportunity to tell the people of Ghana why you want to be president. Why do you want to be president? And what do you have to offer?
I want to lead the process of building a modern, industrialized economy that provides equal opportunity to all its citizens, irrespective of their ethnic, religious affiliation or political affiliation. That process of creating a modern, prosperous society would involve certain policy interventions that will lead to the prosperity that we are all aspiring to. And so by introducing the Great Transformational Plan, which is the policy blueprint to help us get to a stage where we have a prosperous economy, you need a certain kind of leadership. And I believe that looking at my record outside government, more importantly outside government, but also within government over the years, I have what it takes: first, the vision, the competence, the integrity, and then the action orientation to be able to lead that process. Yes, I've played my role as a minister in 2 administrations, but I have what it takes to move Ghana forward in a transformational way.
Speak to the people of Ghana
and
look
that is,
at them.
And that is exactly why I'm running for president. And the Great Transformational Plan is the plan of action that will lead us from instability to stability, and then to growth, and then resilience and prosperity. In the Great Transformational Plan, we have not just the promise, but also the plan of action and the roadmap to bring Ghana to where we need to be.
You cannot do it alone, and you have a solid team already, some of whom are with you here today. Who's going to be your running mate?
We'll cross the bridge very soon.
How soon should we expect that announcement?
We'll cross the bridge very soon. I'll come here and make the announcement.
Promise?
Yes, I will.
We will hold you to it, and then we will expect that we'll talk to you some more as the campaign season gets more and more heated. Well, thank you for making the time
Thank you very much, Thelma.